All right, everybody, welcome to A&N on R&B. I'm out of here, and we're going to start the show. So here we go.
What's up? That music always gets me. It's just that, woo. Yes, it gets me every single time. What's up, everybody? This is A&N on R&B, and I am the beauty on the scene, Nicola Dean, and I am here with my brother.
You got your boy here, Nas the Romantic.
Yes, indeed. And we are 2/3 of the trio of A&N on R&B. Our brother Big A is going to be joining us momentarily. Before we get started, we got to give a huge shout out to Heritage Hip Hop.
Always.
Every single time. Because if there was no Heritage Hip Hop,
there'd be no A&N on R&B.
Right. So we got to make sure we give some flowers when, people are, when people deserve flowers. We got to give flowers where flowers are due. And Karev is doing so much for A&N on R&B behind the scenes. So, yeah. How was your week? Like, I know we were supposed to come last week. We'll get to that in a second. But how's your week been?
It's been all right. I can't complain too much. It went kind of quick. I took like 2 days off work, so that 3-day banger was kind of nice.
Yeah.
The week ended kind of quick, so that's good. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I had to take some days off. My days were involuntary. I ended up in the emergency room last Sunday night, so we couldn't come forth with the show and everything. So I wanna extend a huge apology. And I know I can't feel sorry for being sick, but I have to extend an apology to all of our viewers because we did kind of hype up last week, and then I had to fall through because it was like
I mean, look, that's life. Life happens, man. Like, it don't make like I said before, it doesn't make any sense to strain yourself to do the show. You're dropping in front of the camera.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. So but like, in the past 2 weeks, because like I said, we had so much stuff that we wanted to talk about last week, but I feel like we kind of missed out on what we were supposed to talk about last week. So I think we should condense last week and this week.
Yeah, we can do that. Definitely, we can do that.
I think we should do that. So I remembered you sent me an article week before last about reparations in California.
Right.
Okay, wait, before we even get into that conversation, our brother Big A está aquí. He is here in the building.
The one, the only.
Yes, indeed. And brother, I have missed you. I say this very sparingly to people, but I love you because I missed you, and that's how I love you, because I truly missed you.
I miss y'all. I miss y'all, and I miss the people, man. Yes. Finally, Big A. No, I'm saying.
Let's come back
to A&N on R&B.
Yes. It's
with
always
his
good to be
Rudy
back
food can. So,
that's right. Squad up, for real. Squad up.
Yep.
Man.
The trio is, we here. The trio
keeping it real, back, keeping it hood all the time, baby. Keeping it all the time.
Yes,
we strong. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it.
Word.
We were about to get into this conversation, we were so apparently someone in California, and I think Nas can shed a whole lot more light about what was going on, but somebody in California said something about Black people getting some reparations.
Yes.
What was going on, Nas?
Okay, it's been an ongoing thing in their Senate since the 1980s. So they have a task force that were trying to compile like how much money would be allocated to give the black folks in California, or the folks that were descendants of slaves, reparations.
Okay.
And so they came up with like it was over 500 billion. And so they rounded that off to like around 223,000 per person. But it was like they were trying to figure out would they do that in like a cash out, which would be nice. Cash out, put that towards the inner city schools or like housing and stuff like that. I would prefer all three.
I think that's a really good idea.
I would prefer all three, but they're gonna choose.
I will say they talk about $223,000 per person. Mm-hmm. By the time taxes hit, everybody gets $57 a piece.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's another thing. Would they tax that? Would that be fair to tax that? Would it be fair to tax that?
But is it fair to tax us now?
No,
it ain't fair to tax. It ain't fair to tax. I'll tell you one thing. I would be like, show me the money.
Yeah.
And then the other question that I have is it only for residents of California? Because you said this was going on in California and they wanted since the 80s.
Right,
would they only give this money to residents of California? Because I'm about to tell you, it's about to be an influx of Negroes moving to California. Mm-hmm. And you're going to hear people saying, yo estoy aquí. Like, they're going to start speaking Spanish all of us. They're going to be right at the border of Mexico. I'm telling you. So,
El Negro.
It's going to get deep real quick. No, I'm not Mexican. No, I'm black. I'm black.
And every dark-skinned Mexican is going to be like, no, I am black.
That's like Paul Mooney said. Don't nobody want to be a nigga. Everybody want to be a nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely going to be the point when that cash start getting doled out.
Right.
But so what they're trying to do is you have to be able to prove that you were a descendant of an enslaved African in America. So.
But weren't we all okay? So this is another question that I have. So like with me, I did my ancestry, and I believe we all had this conversation before. So I did my ancestry, and my ancestry showed that I am 78% African, like from Africa, right? 78%, like just a mixture of South and West African, right? And then 20% was European, which shocked me because I didn't want to be. And this is no disrespect to my white friends or anything like that, but I saw 20%, and to me that's like a fifth. That's like a lot for me. So it was like, okay, are they gonna like, they say $223 per person, are they gonna subtract 20% from me because of 20% white? Like,
no. And I'll tell you why.
Okay,
I'll tell you why. Because you can have 1/8 black in you and you black. That's how we look at it.
Okay. Well, we had a question. So, are those ancestry DNA tests really accurate? Would that help or hurt their chance if people do DNA? I believe they are accurate. The only reason why I say that is because one of my cousins, a few of my biological cousins popped up as my biological cousins. Now, I'm not going to say they're 100% accurate, because I did have someone whose family they popped up as her cousin, but they were really her aunt. So I don't know.
Wow, that's even deeper.
Right. Yeah. So she was like, yeah, this lady popped up as like my first cousin, it was like her first cousin or second cousin, and she's really her biological aunt. So I don't know if I wouldn't give them 100% accuracy, but to say they're in the ballpark, I would venture to say they're in the ballpark.
Hell yeah, they're definitely in the ballpark, because she already knew she was related to her, and that's even deep. Like, they show like, nah, that ain't your aunt. That's your cousin. That's your cousin. Hey, cuz, how you doing?
I remember when I did it. I went to work that day. I was texting my supervisor at the time, and I was like, I got my ancestry back, and she's like, oh my God, how'd it go? I was like, well, Beyonce's not my cousin, Jay-Z's not my cousin, none of them my cousins. So I'll see you at work tomorrow.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's funny. You don't know who your relatives are. At a family reunion, I actually found out I have a distant famous cousin. Because not only do we come from the same town, but we're legitly related on my mom's side. And it was funny to find out that a distant cousin that we have in the family was Emmett Smith. And I was like, what?
You will not believe this. You want to know something crazy?
I couldn't believe it. And it was on my mom's side because my relatives, my cousins, they kept a track. Like it was a listing, and we have legit like Indians in our family. And the town that his little family came from was not only the same town my family came from, but the exact same family. And we're legit distant cousins. So I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Hey, you want to know something crazy? He has ties to my hometown as well.
Oh, wow.
So, and I don't know if we are related because I didn't dig that far.
Yeah.
But he definitely has ties to my hometown.
Well, apparently my family did do that. Like it was actually, they dug up and it actually had a portrait of our distant cousin. Well, our distant great grandfather. Yeah, because he was an actual slave. He was an actual slave. He was an Indian, and he was Indian and white. He was Indian and white. Yeah. The make they mixed. And they had a portrait. We actually have a portrait of him that was done of him. He was a actual respected person, a dignitary amongst the people and during his time.
Yeah.
But cool. That was my great grandfather. There you go. How to go that far. But it's, in hindsight, it's amazing how you could think that it's been that long when you go back in time, and it hasn't been that long. Slavery wasn't really that much far off.
No.
The 60s really wasn't that far off that we see racial injustice and stuff. This country still like thrives off of racism. I don't want to go too far into it, but it's amazing how far you go into it as far as trying to find your lineage. And then a lot of people, because of not knowing the right directions and where to look at to find out their genealogy, a lot of people are descendants of slaves, like or orally can go back and find out their family lineages through the elders in the family. That's why it's important to keep the elders. And that's why a lot of times they got rid of our elders in the past, because it was just, the knowledge being passed on.
And believe it or not, you're not just talking about black people, you're talking about white people too.
I'm talking about specifically black people, honestly, because one of the customs of black people, which I found out early on, is because of they wanted to continue to keep us illiterate. We were still wise enough to be able to teach the young as things progress. That's why once they realized what was going on and how secretive we were about teaching the young, they started separating, and that's why you still have that gap. It was like taught to be separate. You know what I mean?
Right. But what I'm saying is, I think you would be surprised to know how many white people are also descendants of slaves.
Oh, I'm not surprised, because there were a lot of what you got to understand is what we're taught as like, oh, it was just a discrimination and separation. It wasn't like that. At one point in history and time, before he was even known as white people were just mixing together. You had, the natives of the land weren't all just Native American. There were black natives that were here in this continent, and you had the mixing of the colonies, the colonizers that came here, and they mixed with the people. So you had that, but then you go back far enough, you find out they got tired of it, and they wanted to differentiate who was who. So they started making that, separation and division amongst the people, because at one time people did live together without having that look of you're black, I'm white.
For sure. So, I mean, we got another question. The question is, are reparations good for our people? Maybe. You all right? Maybe reparations may hurt our people. Question.
I don't think it would be hurt people, because on the grand scale, even how you look at in the music community, there's a division. You have a division from the ideologies of how people are supposed to sound based on how they look versus how you see people. And pop, you don't really have a lot of minority pop singers because it's dominated by the quote unquote non-minorities. It's a strong lane, and it's a very popular lane. But you have a lot of pop singers. You know what I mean? Those divisions can come from illiteracy, just like finance. When you get money, you have those divisions of people who don't have those literacy and knowing how to deal with money, having money, and knowing what to do with money, how to invest money. Knowing what credit is and how you can use credit to benefit you, and understand that debt can actually make you rich rather than looking at it in a negative form. Rich people love having debt because that's the way they make their income, and they make sure their income is non-taxable. They find loopholes. So like you just gotta be smart about money. You know what I mean? Just like you smart about music.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I will say yes and no, because like it's like you said, you have to have financial literacy. You have to have financial literacy. You have you have to be able to know those loopholes. So I will say, like, when they get the money, like, find someone, take classes on financial literacy. Like, just don't go spending the money on whatever, you don't want a Dave Chappelle situation. You know what I mean?
Rich bitch.
Yeah, rich bitch. I got this truck full of cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want that type of situation.
That's what Cedric the Entertainer said. Cadillac about to be the #1 car business. That in the back,
getting paid up and all that other good stuff. Yeah, like,
I mean, in reality, you still gonna have the ignorant people. Like, man,
no.
bitches, you get money, baby. We pay, baby. We pay. You know what I mean? Trying to stunt and show off and be broke in 3 months. Be broke.
Oh, we got one.
Actually, we got 2 because he said, "Y'all cousins too." Jesus.
Oh, I missed that.
Wow. You missed that one. So, you know what? Speaking.
Hey, cuz.
What's up, cuz? Couldn't Pete. So, do we want reparations or restitution?
We want both.
Yes.
Oh, I want it all.
Brand new socks and drawers.
First of all, you can't just say both. That's not how we gonna say both of them. BOFFUM. We want both of them.
Well, I want both of them.
Want both of them.
Both of them. Both.
Both of them.
Both of them. Both of them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, get them both.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. I think that I think that instead of maybe not each individual person get that much money, but I do think, splitting it.
Ooh, why not?
Why not? We deserve it.
Because I see it like this. Each individual person, that will build the wealth in that household.
Not only that, it will build the economy too. You got to think about the economy, how they're talking about how it's been stagnant, and they were just happy about the from Black Friday until Cyber Monday, how much money that was being spent just in general. Now, imagine that money being pushed into the economy and how much stimulation it will go and uplifting the economy and changing the interest rate and whatnot. Like, that would be a great thing for business around. Like, if you look at it from the business hindsight, and a lot of businesses would thrive because you have a lot more people spending. They have more spending power. And it kind of put people in a different echelon of money, because you have the extremely rich, then you have, the mediocre, mid money making people, and then you have what they consider the poor. So then it would bring a lot of people from the poor to the middle class and elevate them in between. It will kind of cut out the poor class, and it will actually put people in a better situation. I mean, then the classism would completely change.
No. Here's the thing. You got to remember that we live in a society, we live in a country that is based on racism, whether that be blatant racism or hidden racism. So, and then I think the other thing that gets me is that, you talk about reparations and all of these Black people getting money. For me, crime is a bother for me. Like, I just feel like the crime rate would go up. I think about things like that. It's like, it's easy to say, yeah, everybody should get this money, but we have to think about it in a general sense, where it's like everything else has to change. The money can change, and the socioeconomic status of each Black person is going to change, but are taxes going to change? Are they going to tax the shit out of us? You know what I'm saying? Or will the state of how we get paid at work change? Because guess what? Or, I mean, if we own businesses, is the state of how we are able to own businesses, are they going to implement new laws that say like, okay, well, you can do this, but you can't do that? Or, you know,
I'll tell you this: if I got $200,000, first of all, I ain't working. I got money. Fuck y'all. I'm enjoying. Excuse my language. I'm having a good time.
That's not enough.
I'm gonna enjoy my life. I'm getting out of this. I'm paying off my debts. I'm paying off debts. Yeah. Okay, I'm paying off some debts, and I'm gonna have a good ass time. And I'm gonna do some real R&R. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna go on vacation. I'm gonna take myself on vacation, and I'm gonna invest my money and make sure that my money continually works for me. Now,
can I hit you with a surprise?
That's what I'm gonna do, because at the end of the day, when you get money like that, anybody with common sense knows you're gonna need an accountant. You know, make sure you have your money squared away, and you gotta make sure you can invest your money, because you got that type of money. That money don't come around so often, so you want to do that. Now, you talk about crime rate. Crime rate is only gonna be where crime really happens because of really and hindsight, like poverty and environment. So if you got people that are getting paid and a certain money, and they can get out an environment, can change their mindset and their view, then you're not going to have the same thing you're having previously, because then you got people coming up, elevating themselves, and they're not in that type of environment. I know plenty of people that live in the hood that don't like living in the hood, and they're not part of crime. They're actually good citizens, but they live in a bad environment. So if they can get out of that bad environment, you don't have those people thriving anymore. Now, you're going to always have crime. Crime is always thriving in this country from day one.
Of where people live, because I know people who live in like very wealthy neighborhoods who were just pieces of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm sorry, I think I'm on one tonight. Y'all got to forgive me, but for me, it's like, I don't know. I think I see reparations a little bit differently than y'all do, and so we're just gonna have to agree to disagree on a lot of things. But one thing I think I want to agree with my brother Big A on is, what does reparations smell like? Like, what does it smell like to you?
Money.
No, I'm talking about if he had to put a fragrance of the week on his reparations, what would his reparations smell like?
My reparations would smell like BDK cream decor. It would be BDK cream decor, which is a high echelon smell. If you ever get a chance to smell something like this, very expensive cologne, very high end, this would be the smell of reparation, because everybody would be like, damn, you smell good, and damn, you look good. Because you know what, when you get money, you got some money in your pocket. Anybody get some money, they can get cleaned up real quick. Money can clean your ass up real quick. How you looking like a different person, boy? I tell you that. Money I had you looking real brand new. Shoot, people will tell you, damn, you acting brand new. You goddamn right. You know why? You know how much my bank account is? It smells just like cream liqueur. Cream liqueur BDK. That's how it smells.
Okay, so now I got a follow-up question. What R&B song makes you think about that fragrance that you just gave us?
Just right here. Yeah, you remember when Maxwell came out with Fortunate? Because we're gonna talk about R.Kelly later on. R.Kelly wrote Fortunate.
Yes,
remember how that song dropped with Maxwell dropping that note? This is how that smells. This is how that smells. That sound that when you hit that note from the beginning, when that song dropped. For those of you who never heard of Fortunate by Maxwell, written by R. Kelly, Mr. Robert Kelly. Yeah, this is how that smells. This smells like that. Now, Speaking of smells,
that also goes to reparations because we're gonna be fortunate if we get some reparations.
Speaking of smells, the smell of the week is actually this right here called 8 and Bob. 8 and Bob is originally one of the most popular colognes during the time of JFK. This is the cologne that President Kennedy personally wore and was known. This is his signature cologne right here, 8 and Bob. If you can find 8 and Bob, boy, you find a gold mine. This right here will gain you compliments, unsolicited compliments from people that you don't even know. 8 and Bob, right here, top of the line, and BDK Cream Decor, man. You have people want to hug you. They sniff you and hug you.
What you're saying is if somebody is wearing 8 and Bob, but the first, like the song that comes to my mind is Happy Birthday.
Yep, Mr. President. Yep, 8 and Bob. It comes in the box itself. It comes in a casket box. Try to see if I have the box here still.
Box.
Yes, it comes in a casket box. Usually colognes come in regular boxes. This actually comes in a casket, and it has a booklet with the history of the cologne perfumer who designed it, as well as the information of him and the relationship with President Kennedy and how this was President JFK's favorite scent. This was something that he wore. This was his signature scent right here, 8 and Bob. If you can find it, you found a gold mine. Anybody who smelled this loved it. He was even known for having this smell, and people always knew that this was his joint right here. 8 and Bob.
Marilyn Monroe knows that smell all too well. Anyway.
Shots fired.
Literally.
She knew about Bob too, but anyway.
As I said, literally. Literally.
Hey.
So we got another Jesus. I'm just saying. So on another note, we were just talking about, the song Fortunate, and something else happened this week. Apparently R.Kelly dropped an album.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. This is not a conversation that I wish to have.
Okay.
But I feel like we need to have it anyway, because I feel like
it's a must. It's a must because it came out during the time that this album coming out, and the contents of the album itself, just the titles of the song, not even talking about the lyrics, the titles of the song that's on the album, it was more like he didn't give a damn. And like, this was like, yo, I'm going to put out some music just because I like putting out music. And the boldness and cockiness and arrogance of some of the titles of the songs on this album were very blatant, and it came out that the record company said it was something that was kind of bootleg, that wasn't supposed to be out on streaming platforms, but people got a chance. The people that hopped on the streaming networks and saw it and heard the music for at least, I think it was on there for an hour before it was actually taken off. I actually got a copy of the album. So,
thanks for that.
Yeah, I got a copy of the album. Nas has a copy of the album. A couple people got a copy of the album. Shout out to my music sources. But it's R. Kelly, and he has a certain standard of bar music. But the topics, like I said, are very controversial for a lot of the listeners who actually heard the music. What do you think, Nas?
I wouldn't say the whole album is controversial. I listened to a little bit of it today. The I Admit It that was dropped like a year or two ago?
Yeah. That was an old song. Yeah. Right.
So the thing about this album is this. He said himself, according to TMZ, that he didn't drop the album. They didn't allow. He never used any equipment inside the jail, according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, to drop the album. He himself claims that the album was dropped to railroad him. So he didn't come out with the album. Matter of fact, they're doing an investigation to see who dropped the album. But
somebody did because they uploaded it to streaming platforms, and
right,
we weren't the only people. Yeah, we weren't the only people that were able to hear it. So
right, his record company is Sony.
Yes,
right.
Sony.
The company that distributed the album to the streaming platforms was a subsidiary of Universal Music. So and then on top of that, R.Kelly claims that that's not his voice on most of those songs. I don't think. But
exactly.
Fuck out of here, Robert.
Yeah, but like, is that you, Robert?
He says not. I guess he said why would he drop his album talk about I Admit It when he's trying to appeal that first case he got sentenced for.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he's facing sentencing for another case in February.
I can see how somebody would be trying to defame him, being that he, allegedly he was getting close to getting released.
Right.
They were working on trying to get him released recently. So I can definitely see his point of somebody trying to defame him and making sure, like, nah, dog, we're not letting you out. We're gonna throw this out there. We're gonna just throw you under the bus real quick. Because you got to think about it. Somebody uploaded that.
Yes.
To streaming services. And the streaming services had to green light it.
Right.
To allow it to be on the platform of such of a large artist that is so controversial. So you got not just one, you got several culprits that work together that allow this because somebody had to put it up, upload it, somebody had to green light it, and then somebody allowed it to be streamed. Even only for an hour, it was still allowed. You got to think about how many people are on these different platforms who listen to music, how many fans he still has, regardless of the allocations and things that he's been charged with. So, all this has to be taken into mind. And then it's almost like somebody did this to detour everything that's already going on. So, I do understand and see his point of view about that.
Some of the lyrics in that I Admit It song are kind of damning.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So why in the middle of an appeal, why would I put a song out like that when they just tried to use the lyrics of a rapper's songs to indict him?
Mm-hmm. In Atlanta.
So so I see where that's going. You're trying to bury him.
Yeah.
I mean, could that be karma?
Could it? It could be. It could. It could. Stranger things has happened. It could be. It really could be. Because at the end of the day, you got to understand this is a popular person in music culture. Like, regardless of what he had done, outside of music contributing to music, he's an icon. He's an icon. He's a music icon, musical genius.
Right.
And he's not only written music for R&B, but he's written music for gospel. He's written music for pop music. He's written all types of music for the different genres. That's what makes him an icon and a legend as far as music. Now, what he did in his personal life, he was proven to be a scoundrel. Let's just face the facts. Like doing half the things that I even heard the accusations in court, he sounded like a monster. He sounded like a monster. It really sounded like a monster. But we don't know what goes in a lot of people's lives just in the music industry in general. And I've heard a lot of whispers and, so on and rumors about people, but you don't know unless you're around the person. Right. You don't know how many monsters that are in the industry.
That brings about another question. Can you separate art from the artist?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's on I think it's always on the perspective of the person, because you have a lot of different artists that make good music that live a controversial life. And art, I'm not just talking about just in music, just like movies and whatnot, productions. I mean, what was the guy's name? The producer that got charged last year, the old dude. The producer,
the white guy,
Ornstein, something like that.
Harvey Weinstein.
Weinstein. So now check it out. He's an artist, and art as far as movies, but he was a monster privately.
No,
He was
see,
he
I
was a
wouldn't call him an artist. He produces. He doesn't take any part. He's just a money man.
he's a part of
He's a money
production
man,
that allows the art to
right?
transfer
But
onto screen. Like
he's
without him, there is no movie. Like he has to be the producer of the art.
but
So
that's
he's
where
a
I'm coming
part of
from
it,
with that. He
huh?
has a certain hold on the actors. So
Yes.
he abuses that. He abuses that power. He doesn't contribute anything to the final product. He just gives. I mean, he gives out the money, but in the long run, he doesn't contribute anything to the final movie.
Well, he's a
So he's
producer.
just the one that dangles the check in your face.
Well, no,
That's
he's
about
the
it.
one who produces, meaning he's the one that financially back. The movie doesn't come out unless
That's what I'm
he
saying.
financially backs it.
He's the
So
money man.
yeah, he's a money man. He is but he's a part of the production. So if it doesn't happen, if he stops production, the movie doesn't come out.
Right.
He's a big part of it. That's
Right.
why I use him as an example. But he's also an example of somebody who was a monster,
Right.
who terrorized a lot of actors and actresses in Hollywood.
Right.
He was one of those people, and there's many other people that were doing the same thing, but just on a grand scale as he had, and didn't have the power that he had
Right.
to do so. But yes, you can separate art from the artist. I believe you can, unless you had a lot of people have PTSD from different scenarios that they personally went through. So for them, it's hard to separate the art from the artist because they empathize with the abusers of different things that may have happened. But in hindsight, I mean, yes, you can separate the art from the artist because a lot of people do. Like we know of certain artists that did certain things. Shakira, who's being accused of doing certain things, and people still love her. People still listen to her music.
Mhm.
You know, you have different people that have been brought up on charges, and actually in court been proven to be guilty of certain things, but it doesn't change. It's all about how the media portrays a person. Like if they want to demonize you, they will demonize you and have you look a certain way. But
And
in
that's another
hindsight,
point
he's
I
still
want.
a monster, regardless.
That's
So,
another point I wanted to get. I'm sorry. That's another point I wanted to get into because R.Kelly, all right, black man, did what he did. They destroying him.
Hmm.
Harvey Weinstein, you heard about his court goings on, but they're not really going through the lengths to destroy this guy as they are destroy the white man as they are the black man.
No, they started the Me Too movement based on that, but
Right.
in hindsight, they didn't demonize him in the same light as they did R. Kelly. Like every time his name was mentioned, it was always a triggering thing. They said certain triggering words for people who may have been abused before, so it also brought back those same emotions, those feelings. In hindsight, the description of Harvey Weinstein, they kind of fraternized with how they described him, but they didn't really go into demonizing him until he was actually charged. Well, by then he was old. All the years he's gonna be in prison, and he's soon to die. Like he's not gonna live that long. Like he's already old, man. He's not gonna make it that long. I'm not wishing death on anybody, but let's be realistic. He's an old ass dude already with a lot of power.
So, with all of that said, I want to add like a little bit to it, and I'm gonna stay on this for 30 seconds, and that's all I'm gonna say. You mentioned the word trigger. I refuse to listen to the R. Kelly album. R. Kelly is a trigger for me. This album coming out is a trigger for me, and I am at a point in my life where I am truly embracing healing and learning how to be free and free my mind and free my spirit and have my soul, lighten my soul and lighten my burdens. And so listening to an album of somebody who was accused and found guilty of harming women, I just refuse to engage in the conversation about him. And I will never take away that R. Kelly is by far one of the absolute greatest songwriters of our time. I will never take that away from him. But me as a woman and knowing what I've been through in my life, he is a trigger for me. His music is a trigger for me. This album was a trigger for me, and therefore I refuse to engage in the conversation with you guys. If you notice, I just sat back and listen. All right. So on that note,
I wasn't done. Hold on, because it says the return of R. Kelly. Really, because that's also on the topic. It says the return of R. Kelly.
The next segment. We running out of time.
Okay, but it's a topic on the bottom. It says the return of R. Kelly. Really?
Yeah, that's the whole thing we were talking about. What? I'm serious. That was the whole thing we were talking about. R. Kelly.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that because, like, it's like you said, to some people is it's nothing, because that's R. Kelly. Whatever he did, I'm gonna love his music anyway. But it's like you said, the other folks it reminds them of past trauma. So
wasted potential, Nas.
With that, we gonna close on that, and we gonna talk. We gonna get into the waste of potential. Yes. So with the waste of potential, I'm gonna bring you back. I'm gonna bring you way back. Matter of fact, if you're not in that 37 or 40, 43-year-old range, you probably won't know this jam. This jam was sung by Roberta Flack. Roberta Flack is just
her vocals.
Oh yeah. The closer I get to you.
Don't get me started. That's a baby making song right there.
Okay. All right. So the song is from the 1981 Bustin' Loose movie soundtrack. The song is called Just When I Needed You. Y'all remember that joint, right? Mm-hmm. The late great Cicely Tyson, the late great Richard Pryor, right? There was a scene where he was driving a bus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a scene where he was driving a bus with the kids, and it was like I think it was right after the scene where he tricked the Klan and helping them get the bus moving.
Yeah.
And they were driving along, and you could see the kids helping each other. You could see Cicely Tyson doing her thing, and you had Joe Braxton, which was portrayed by Richard Pryor, driving the bus, and he's looking at the kids like, you see something changing in his heart towards the kids or whatever, right? So the song is like, it's like, just at a bad time in my life, something brought you there to be for me when I needed you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The words go like, just when I needed you, you had your arms around my life. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So, man, if you listen to the actual track, you can hear the late great Luther Vandross. It's like, darling angel, somebody sent me, you now feel alright. You got to hear the song. Like it's a beautiful song. It's a heartwarming, heart-touching song. Like I've been in love with that song ever since I first saw that movie.
Oh man!
Ever since I first saw that movie, because that was like it was such a heart. This is so a warm and heartwarming and loving song. Like, so like my question from that song is like, is there someone in your life? It doesn't have to be, I'm Nas romantic. It doesn't have to be anybody that's romantically linked to you, but it's someone that when you're going through something, that person makes you feel like everything's going to be all right. Like just when you need them, like they're right there. Like, is there a person in your life that's there for you like that?
So, I think I mentioned this to you. I know I've had this conversation with you. Last year, I was going to end my life.
Right.
And the day that I was going to end my life, I won't explain how I was going to end my life, but my mom FaceTimed me. And usually FaceTimes with my mom are like 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
She wouldn't let me get off FaceTime. She just kept talking. And I was like, I gotta go. Like, I got something that I need to do. And she was like, no, I just gotta show you this. And let me tell you about this. And it ended up being like an hour and 40-minute FaceTime, to the point where my phone was dying. I had to plug my phone back in. And by the time we finished the FaceTime, I was like, I can't kill myself. My mom would be that person for me. And I don't think she realizes that she saved my life. She literally saved my life. Because in that moment I was going to kill myself. So yeah, that song is very, woo. Thinking about the song, and I'm thinking
I gotta thank mom. I gotta thank mom for that, man. Because if mom wasn't there, it was a couple other people. You shared the story with me, but I want to thank you, because if not for that, then she wouldn't be here. Well, she wouldn't be part of our family right now.
Yeah.
So I gotta thank you for that. Thank you for being there. When she was at her lowest, at her most down moment, lowest moment, to be able to pull her up and let her know that you have people who love you. You have people who are there for you. All right? As long as you live, and this is saying to mine, as long as you live, as long as you are here, there's always a chance for things to get better. So thank you for reminding her of that. And thank you for her being here with us right now. All right, hey man, what about you? Hey man, what's going on? You got something?
Well, there's always people around that'll make a difference in your life. I have a good support system of friends and family that are around. And particularly, I have a good friend, one of my best friends on the planet, who was there for me, physically for me, when I had bad health issue where I almost wasn't here any longer.
Ooh.
And left his house, came to my safety, and transported me to the hospital, where I almost kicked the bucket. Really, realistically, like,
damn,
I can smile about it now, because I'm here. Yeah. But so I mean, he's one of the people that I have, one of the most important people on the planet to me, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my friend. Literally, my best friend that saved my life. So, I got a lot of good people, but in particularly, I can't not give respect and reverence to that person constantly, because in that situation there, I wouldn't be here right now. Literally would not be here right now. So, I give it up to my good friend Kenny, my boy Kenny.
Ken.
Shout out to Kenny.
No doubt, man. No
He
doubt.
hates that name, by the way.
I know.
Listen,
I know.
I've been calling him that for years, man. You sure by now?
Did you see that?
Don't kill me, man. It's what it is.
Shout out to my homegirl, Be Forever Sweetie. I see you on here. Thank you so much for your support.
All right, shout out to you.
But you know what? We got one more topic, and we're going to make this real quick, because it was one more thing that happened 2 weeks ago, but I feel like we kind of need to talk about it.
Oh, yes. I mean? Let's go.
Because this is Thriller. Yeah.
Yeah, do the next joint, y'all. Well, you ain't genuine doing it. Nah, shout out to genuine.
That's where you got it from. Everybody know that. You got it from Mike. Mike was doing that way back then.
You got it from Mike.
Word.
So yeah, it's the 40th anniversary of Michael Jackson's Thriller album back in November. It was
one of the best-selling albums of all times. That's big of all times. Like,
check this out. You know how many #1 singles came off of that album? 7. Do you know how many songs were on that album? 9. And the funny thing is, nobody really talks about one of those songs that came off that album, but the other song that wasn't released as it didn't come out, it wasn't a #1 single, was still one of the hottest songs. And when I say it's a bedroom banger, the lady in my life.
What?
Yeah.
You are the lady. Yes.
Yo, that album, I honestly say that album, if you release any of those songs right now, there'll be a #1 in rotation right now on radio.
Oh yeah.
Right now.
Absolutely.
If they were never heard and they were delivered right now, all those songs could be #1 on radio R&B right now. That's how classic and timeless those lyrics, the melodies, the riffs, the production, everything. Even though it has the retro sound, it still could be #1 on the charts right now.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nas. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut across you.
That's cool. The crazy thing is the title track wasn't even planned to be a single.
Right.
That's the crazy part. The title track. What happened was the album. He was at #1. So he saw he was dropping a little bit. He was like, "Oh, what can I do to get this back on #1?" So record exec was like, take Thriller and make a video, make it a single. He was like, They talked him into it, and he got, I forget the director's name. He did The Goonies.
And he also did American Werewolf in London,
Right.
Yes.
Makeup artist from American Werewolf in London to do the makeup for the transformation. The woman that played the love interest, Ola Ray. You already know what's wrong with this one.
Ooh, I love me some Ola.
She was a Playboy playmate.
Yes, she was.
Yes, and
she
for some reason,
it's good one.
For some reason, Michael Jackson had a little problem with that, but I guess it was her thing to want to be in the video. So, they met, they hit it off. I put it like that. They hit it off. The chemistry was good, and she got cast as the love interest in the video. So, man,
Ola Ray is a legend, boy. She's an iconic legend with that video with the zoom in, that lens when it zoomed in on her. Man, that was an iconic moment in that video because she zoomed in and she seen his eyes, boy. That's an iconic moment in that video right there.
And
Ola Ray.
I just want to make this very clear for anybody who is not aware of the Thriller video, because there are some people out there who have never seen the Thriller video. There's a GIF that they took from the Thriller video, and it's the one where Michael Jackson's eating the popcorn, and he's like in the theater.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I'm about to watch this go down, kind of thing. Yeah. So Thriller, it's amazing. Thriller came out the year before I was born. Actually, it came out a few months before I was born. But by far, it's one of my favorite albums of all time. I actually have it on vinyl. So I have that album on vinyl. And the thing is, like, that whole album. What's your favorite song? What's your favorite song? What's y'all's favorite song?
All right. Want to be started something.
You a vegetable. They hate you. Like, really?
You so busy grooving to the song, you ain't even worried about the lyrics. Like, huh?
Yeah. Don't want a baby. Then don't have a baby. Yeah. If you can't feed your baby, that's what it is. If you can't feed your baby, then don't have a baby. Like, what?
Well, that would make sense.
Mike was dropping knowledge on that album.
Yeah. On the low.
Yeah, Mike was dropping knowledge on that album, man. I love Thriller was one of my favorites. I used to be scared of the video when I was a kid, but I couldn't turn away. I used to be scared as hell, but I was like, because it reminded me of Night of the Living Dead
back in the day,
and the werewolf scene and all that stuff scared the crap out of me. But deep down, as much as it scared the hell out of me, I love that album. I love that video, and we used to listen to it on vinyl, and love to listen to that song during Halloween. That was like one of the songs we listened to. And hearing Vincent Price at the end of the joint doing the narration.
Classic.
Oh man, that was like that was crazy. But Lady of My Life was definitely one of my favorite.
Yeah.
And Billie Jean, man, that that come on, boy, yo, like, I don't care how old you are, you hear that, you want to put your hand on your crotch and do the hip thrust thing with it, like, yo, word up, Billie Jean.
Not only that, but I think you hear Billie Jean and you want to do like every single move from the video.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the video comes to mind. And it's like, oh man. I gotta admit, I love PYT, and I love how they sped up his vocals for the. I love how.
The Chipmunk voice, yeah.
Voice. And I also, one of my favorite things that I love about that song was that, and he's an artist who does not get enough credit. James Ingram co-wrote that song with Michael Jackson.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's
James
another
Ingram.
talented brother, James, and a great vocalist, James.
Yes. So we got a question, y'all. Why do you think people are trying to erase Michael Jackson in the music culture today? I don't think they are.
I say they will because
shout out to Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yo, that
man.
Also, I'm gonna say shout out to Oprah Winfrey.
Let the brother live
like that. Go ahead, Harpo. You know the man. He ain't even like you in the bull.
He knew the game, and he ran business-wise. He ran circles around him.
Right.
So that's why he was. I say he's murdered. He was murdered because of that. Because everybody saw the infamous video where he said, "Listen,
he went off,
right, man." He was like, "Listen, I'm gonna leave Sony owning half of Sony." How is that? We don't like that. They don't like that at all.
And not to mention what he did with Eminem.
Oh.
That was what we call a boss move for y'all who don't know. For the people who don't know what she's talking about, Mike went and bought Eminem's royalties.
His catalog.
His whole damn catalog. And every time M said anything, he said, "Oh, you want to talk about me?
Yeah.
Go ahead, you talking about me. I'm gonna make money off you talking about me."
Exactly.
Mike went and Mike was legendary for being a scoundrel when it came to business.
Yeah.
Mike went and brought the Eminem catalog, the Beatles catalog. To the point where him and Paul McCartney used to be boys until he did that, and Paul was thinking like he was gonna sell it to him. Mike was like, "Nah, dog, I'm gonna get this money, baby." That's all about.
So guess what?
It's not personal. It's
every time you stream a Beatles song, every time you listen to an Eminem song, Michael Jackson is still getting paid, y'all.
His family is getting paid. His estate, the estate of Michael Jackson,
paid in his death. So yeah. So, and you know, shout out to the entire Jackson family too.
Yeah,
that's an empire right there.
He's like, "You want to talk about me, Em? Okay,
keep talking about me, bitch."
I got your money now.
He's like, "Do you remember?"
He was like, "I'm done with you. Beat it."
Yeah. It said the 40th anniversary has demo tracks. The remix song, so I'm definitely getting that. That's definitely a must have for your collection.
Yeah.
It showed. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was like the 10th year anniversary, and on MTV they had footage of the creation of that iconic album, and they had behind the scenes with him and Mike in the studio with Quincy Jones. And the recording of they were filming him while he was recording the album, and it just looked like a movie, just the way that they were doing everything and how they were getting that process done. And there's a documentary on Netflix about Quincy Jones, and it has a snip of that footage of when he was recording in the studio with Michael Jackson, because of course Michael Jackson is a part of Quincy's history, and a big part of it because Michael Jackson at that time was like one of the first to ever get that many Grammys off of one album. Like that was like unheard of. Like
that one song, even Thriller made, like I said, Thriller made money all the way around because it was in the theaters, right? It was in the movie theaters, right?
Yeah.
Shoot, that Thriller, the rentals of Thriller put Blockbuster on the map. And for those of you who don't know what Blockbuster is, that's back in the day we had these things called VHS tapes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You used to go there. You try to rewind and all that other good stuff, run the tape, bring it back. But like Thriller was like one of the biggest rentals from the video rental shops. And then on top of that, they sold the rights for the behind the scenes footage to be shown. So that shoot, Thriller got money all the way around.
All the way around. Definitely all the way around. They definitely did. They did a lot with that. Also, it was Michael Jackson who had the standard of having a video debuted during prime time. His music video debuted during prime time. He started that trend, where when he came out with a video, when he came out with Thriller, when he came out with Black or White, when he came out with Bad, like these were trends that people realized that, you know what, if we want our product music to be seen, we have to do it during daytime. And he was the one who started that trend. You know what I mean? So I think you got to give it up to him for that. That's creative power right there.
Mike definitely changed the game. He changed the game for real.
For real.
Salute to walking down the street and sidewalk lights. So
right. Yo, that's an iconic video right there, y'all. Yo, Billie Jean, y'all.
Billie Jean,
y'all. Mike was the first one, man. The first one, like, yo, that's not my baby.
Word.
That's not my baby. She not my lover. I ain't clapped them cheeks.
Yep. Hey, man, that's mine. And then he started walking off. Nah, ain't mine.
And then he came out with
again from the 80s. Yeah.
Side chick of the 80s. Then he came out with the song with Paul McCartney. The girl is mine. He let you know what the girl was his, though. Word up. But I don't know where Nika went to, but this is A&N on R&B. I think that's your show.
Yeah, tell me who you are, brother. Tell him.
Well, I'm RDR, Big A, and my dear brother here.
You got Nas and Money here.
There you go.
This is A&N on R&B. 2/3 of our sister, the beauty on the scene, Nika Ladine, will be with you next week. And until then, I'll be thinking of you.
Not me. Damn, that's pretty good. Oh,
okay, we gonna do let nigga the burn outro. There she go.
Jump back in the room. Hello, Nika.
Okay, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We say hi to you.
my whole system just froze. I don't know what's going on. What's funny is that I've been having the same issues with my cell phone. Apple is a beautiful thing because everything is really connected, but Apple sucks sometimes. So it is what it is. But
no Apple.
The only apples you get around here is the one that I eat.
Speaking of apples.
Oh, see.
Speaking of apples.
Top 5. Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta say this. One of my favorite things about when I was little at Christmas time, my granddaddy, like one of his friends, would always give him a fruit basket, and it had fruits and nuts and different things like that in it. We always got like a ton of red delicious apples. So I'm glad you said apples, and we were talking about apples, because it reminds me of none other than Christmas time. And I specifically, oh my God, I don't know why I get like really excited about Christmas recently. Like Christmas is just a beautiful thing to me. And I know we weren't quite ready for Christmas, but I kind of want to bring us into the Christmas spirit because, it's Christmas.
Santa's aura.
What was the movie with, was it Friday After Next when Pops with John Witherspoon, and he was like, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
So if y'all don't know, we are officially 14 days away. 14 days away from Christmas. Can you believe it? 14.
Oh, that's 4.
That's 4. So we are 14 days away from Christmas. And how amazing is Christmas? And so I wanted to base my top 5, the start of my top 5 on songs that I hear that make me feel like Christmas. And I'm also going to throw in it's not an honorable mention, but it's going to probably be a surprise to y'all because it's a song that I really do hate. Like I hate this song. But for my top 5, I hear the song that makes me think about Christmas is Merry Christmas Baby by Otis Redding. Mm-hmm. It's just something about hearing, Santa came down the chimney 3:30, y'all. Left all of them good old presents for my baby and for me. I don't know why he says like that in that song, but it always reminds me of being at my grandparents' house for Christmas. This song I usually hold near and dear to my heart because it's something that I've been going through for a little while on Christmas, but it's What Do the Lonely Do at Christmas by The Emotions. That song is very reminiscent of, it kind of puts you in the mindset of being single around Christmas time. When you're single around Christmas time, how do you feel? And that song is very, very reminiscent of that. Number 3, I Can Hardly Wait for Christmas by the OJs. There's just something so, and most of these are slow jams. It's so funny because I'm throwing them out there, but most of these are like slow jams. They like the baby making Christmas music. I guess I could have done my top 5 baby making Christmas songs. But yeah, so number 3 is gonna be I Can Hardly Wait for Christmas. Number 2 is My Gift to You by Alexander O'Neal, and I specifically love this song because
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Very good.
Wait, hold on, no. What did I miss? What happened?
I'm sorry, Alex. Now go ahead.
Okay, so number 2 is gonna be My Gift. Why is his camera all jacked up? Is he texting? So, number 2 is going to be My Gift to You by Alexander O'Neal, who just happens to be brought to you by my favorite production team of all time. So,
Flight Time.
So, got to give them a big shout out to them. And number 1 is definitely Happy Holidays by the Ohio Players. If y'all notice, I went all the way back for all of these songs. These are like old school songs. And so these are Christmas songs.
Like
ain't no school like the old school at all. Mm-mm. And this is not an honorary mention, but I just want to throw this out there, and I'm gonna get a whole lot of flack for saying this. Do you know what Christmas song I can't stand to hear? Like, I literally do not like this song every time it comes on. Like, I'm just tired of it.
It hurts you?
Yes, you wanna know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Silent Night by the Temptations. I despise that song.
Well, you might like Soul For Real's version better.
No. No.
All right, phone.
All right, so that's it. That's it for my Nika's top 5. We got a big no. No.
Silent Night.
Yeah. Shepherd's Quake. Like, what? So, you know what? Speaking of all of this, we gotta give them a song of the week.
Song of the I haven't thought of a song of the week. Let me see if I can think of some off there. Song of the week. I'm not gonna give you the Christmas one yet. That's gonna be next week.
Okay.
I guess Don't Change by Kanye Boss.
Ooh. Don't Change by Kanye Doss. That is. Ooh. That's a good one. That's a good one.
If you don't know who Kanye Doss is, you've been living in the cave for the past couple years, man. She's one of the best female R&B vocalists out there.
I know for me, I can honestly say I'm in this healing journey. You heard me say before, not really tolerating any nonsense and things like that. So, right. I heard something the other day. It's not an R&B song though. Okay. Not quite an R&B song. It's not an R&B song. But I heard something the other day, and it just, when I say it motivated me, I was on my way to work, and it just heightened my spirit, and I was like, man, this is good stuff. It is called Affirmation Song when it's by Doggyland featuring Snoop Dogg. And he just speaks affirmations and the kids are repeating after him. And so I caught myself, when you're in a healing process, you have to humble yourself as though you're a child.
Right.
And so he's repeating these affirmations. It's like, I am amazing. And the kids are like, I am amazing,
Right.
And I caught myself every time he said an affirmation, I was repeating it. And it really helped me through my day. It helped me get through my day at work. And so that's my song choice of the day, Affirmation Song by Doggyland featuring Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna give him a bonus one.
Okay.
All right. Being that we did being that I gave you Just When I Needed You by Roberta Flack, I'm gonna give you Mad Love by Infinity Song. You know that one?
For some reason, it sounds familiar.
Yeah. I got mad love for you, brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm gonna give
Okay.
you Mad Love from Infinity Song.
Okay. Okay. Big A song of the week.
Song of the week. You gotta give me a second. I'm trying to remember the artist's name. I've been listening to this artist for a while. Hold on. Give me a second.
Do you want to build a snowman? Because he's frozen on the screen. We can't see you anymore.
Give me a second.
Give me a high five.
And cut. Beautiful, guys. Dynamite. We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing.
Give me a high five.
Okay, so he's gone again. On that note, I think we should just go ahead and call this show quits. I hate to do this because we needed to get a song of the week, but yeah. Again, shout out to A&N on R&B. That's us. That we are 2/3 of the trio. You saw the trio tonight come together. Got to give a huge shout out again to Heritage Hip Hop and Karev at Heritage Hip Hop for all that you do for us. And we will be back next week, and that will be our last show.
Yeah, show for the year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like in shock. So that means we gotta cover Christmas, we gotta cover New Year's, we gotta cover all of that. So
So you know what? We gotta plan this one out to be a big one.
Yes, absolutely. We gotta, because next week is our last show of
that's right. Playlist coming soon, man.
Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. My phone, I'm having issues with my phone, and somebody called and busted my phone. Alex Isley, Think of Me, is my song of the week.
I love that song. It's a beautiful song.
Alex Isley, for those who never heard of it, Alex Isley, Think of Me. That's my song of the week. I don't know, my phone just bugged out just now. Sorry about that, y'all.
Okay.
We got you.
We got you. On that note, this is it, guys. I mean, you can join us on the after party on Instagram. We're going to be going live, A&N on R&B. Nas is at @the_truth128. Big A is at Adiar, and you can find me at Nicola Dean on Instagram. And you can follow us at A&N on R&B. I mean, that's the preferred method where we want you to follow us. So
yeah, because very soon we are moving this stuff to the page, man. So get on board while you can, man. Don't miss out. I keep telling you, don't miss out. It's in my post.
Right.
Don't miss out.
Make sure you.
But
oh, sorry. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment. Make sure you get in those comments because we want to know what y'all are thinking. We can talk amongst ourselves.
We want your feedback.
Right.
Like we talk amongst ourselves all day, but this is about y'all. We do this for y'all. So like we want to get your feedback. Like we want to get your song ideas. We want to get your nostalgia effect. We want all that from you. We want your feedback. We want to interact with you.
Absolutely.
So make sure you do it at A&N on R&B.
Absolutely. On that note, we are out of here. Much love to you guys. I am your girl, Nicola Dean, and I am the beauty on the scene.
It's your boy, the romantic one. Nas, the romantic.
And I'm Big A.
Peace, guys.